You're welcome to Adbond Team Mental Fitness, and today will be lots experiential. So I'm going to implore to those who will be joining on Zoom, and also for those who are going to be watching on YouTube in the future, you can get a piece of paper and a pen so that you can also participate in the experiential session of today's training. So what is the topic for today? Says habit replacement and not deleting. How to form good habits. Habit replacement, not deleting. How to form a good habit. By myself, Oluwagbemiga Adekoya. So the exercise that we want to do now is that you're going to close your eyes for just 120 seconds, and once you hear a sound, start thinking on positive habits that you recently inculcate and that is helping you to accomplish the path that you actually want to find yourself, and the results that you believe that habit can help you to actually achieve. So I want us to start now, so you can take your pen, close your eyes, and let me put the sound. You are not closing your eyes. "60 seconds to go." 45 seconds to go. Thank you. Thank you. You can open your eyes. So at the end of the training, we are going to be analyzing what you've written down. So during the course of the session, start writing the habits that you know that are positive, that you formed, and that could actually help you to get to where you're going. So, and the essence of this is you've just practiced what we call mindfulness. So you just practice what we call mindfulness. And the exercise is that open a blank book, hold a pen, and close your eyes for 120 seconds of mindfulness to illuminate and identify your positive habits. And this is something that I will implore. You have to practice it daily, weekly, or monthly. Anyone that actually work for you. It's necessary. So now our opening quote for today says, "Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going." Somebody can just jab you. "Oh, you are good. You will be great. You will be this. You will be that." A motivational speaker can help you to be charged, but only when we develop the right habits can help us to get going, because getting going is the most important thing. Because over time you realize that you yourself will be saying, all this motivational speaker I don't come again. It's not like they have come again. You have outgrown that kind of information. Their information is now for another person. Imagine you are in year 1, you go to year 2, you are still expecting that they should be, if they even bring information of year 1, you will be tired and you will not be inspired. So, and that is why you have to understand when you need some information per time. So what is habit? A settled or regular practice, especially one that is hard to give up. And I put here that it takes 21 days to form an habit and another 21 to 90 days to replace it with another one. And you know, we have our example of a container that could have maybe any kind of content. During the course of the training, I'm going to show you. So, and how this works, you will feel a trigger within you, and when you feel a trigger within you, we call it the habit loop. Then form a routine around it and check the reward that it's bringing. You will feel a trigger, make it a routine, and then verify the reward. Then you realize maybe it's an habit that you need to keep, or it's an habit that you need to eliminate. So, and you see, let's continue. So, you know, we're saying habit category beyond good or bad. Can we say this? Do you know that habit that is good for Miss Kate can be bad for Miss Victory? Yes or no? Habit that is good for me can be bad for Mr. Shegun. Yes, right? We agreed. Okay, I also want you to help me to agree to that, because on Monday morning I go play long tennis. On Monday morning. And people will be like, you are not serious. So Monday morning that everybody needs to do A, B, C, D. And why did I do that? I realized that every Monday morning there is always going to be a problem that needs to be solved. But once I'm in the court, I use the technique of sports to see how I can run my life. Because number one technique of sports is you have to show up. And number two technique of sports is that you need a good energy to be fit for the game. So these are things that I do constantly to always remind myself that for whatever that you're also doing in the place of work, these techniques are also very, very important. So now, why did I say it's beyond good or bad? Is that until we classify its outcome, either on positive impact, negative impact, or something that is already outdated. Do you know that you might enjoy an habit that is outdated and is not going to add any value to you? Neither does anybody want that habit anymore. And nobody wants to actually reward you for that. And positive habits is something we regard as practice, custom, pattern, routine, convention, and policy. You cannot bring a negative habit into your policy of maybe you want to service some customers and you are putting wrong policies in line. You are destroying yourself, even if not destroying the organization. So why negativity, we regard them as mannerism, idiosyncrasy, addiction, and outdated is either archaic or obsolete. And I want to give an example of something that looks outdated as of today, but doesn't mean we can't repeat it later in future. Before, we always do what we call social media day, but we realize that it's not really media day anything. And we've take a pause on it, or we've regarded it as something that is already obsolete or outdated. So now, how to break or replace old habits? You know, I want you to go home. You might have seen this online. Just buy any form of drink, because regard the color of that drink as a bad habit. Two things you can do is to pour it away. But the funniest thing about you is, human being, you can't pour anything away out of human being. You have to replace it. So one of the reasons why I bring this image is that just open the whatever drink that you buy and put it under a running tap, and then calculate the time you need to do a second's time with your phone. Calculate the time that the water pour into it, and then it displace or it replace. The best word is to use is displace. That it displace this colored form to a clean water. And that's the same thing to whatever habit that you have already developed, that you can't delete it. That one is very dangerous. The only thing you can do is to find another one that will help you to where you are going, that you can use to actually replace it. So the first thing to do, number one, is own a journal. There are something you've actually heard before. Own a journal. The exercise I said about the mindfulness is like you want to journal. That was what I said at the end of the training. We'll come back to that. Own a journal. Documentation of ideas. Idea conceptualization is not equals to instant implementation. One of the problems we have is you get the idea now, you want to implement it now. It's wrong. You may even get some ideas of 5 years time, 10 years time, 20 years time. Document them and make sure that you don't lose your journal. If you are the type that doesn't know how to manage or library your journal, please go digital. But I understand that going digital, sometimes you may not remember where you save it, but it's better you just have a journal and also still digitalize it so that you can always have something to fall back on. I can advise you, if you are the type that love journaling, things you will do in future, you've once written it down. Go back home, check your journal and read them. I also want to implore something. If you notice that you get tired of reading books, please read your journal. Your journal is also a book that is designed for you, so that you can use it to break monotonous aspect of reading book over and over. Because one of the things book does is that if you are reading and you are not implementing, over time you get tired. And that's why you need to develop a focal thinking system that, sometimes I'll be in the midst of people and it looks like they are talking about a lot of things and it looks like I'm not in this world again. The only word I mean is agro to home project development. So, and that's how critical my own focal thinking could actually be. If you want to say I'm not current, I don't even want to be current because I don't need the information as of today. So if I need the information, they will store it. A time will come when I need it, I will go and check where they store it and I will catch up with it and I'll take the one I need by getting a seed. So how is take a time to plan on how you want to get started, and then also strategize on ways to your destination before you implement. Those are the two important parts by the time you have put your ideas, conceptualization on a journal. The next one is understand pattern. There is this thing called past, present, and future. That 3 words, you will always need them forever and ever. How do we know that allocation should be on the engagement? It's based on our past experience. How do we know that we are not doing site inspection, we are doing site experiential tour? It's because when we take clients to site, there is nothing they want to inspect and they become angry. Then Steve Jobs said something. He said, connecting the dots is by looking backward. For example, Apple product launch occurs every September, and one can know this pattern without working there. Yes or no? Yes. As long as 70% know that September they've passed, Apple have passed. You understand? So these are part of patterns that we need to understand. You need to understand the pattern that if I do this thing, most of the time it never push me forward in life. Or if I go this direction, most of the time it never push me forward in life. And then you enjoy doing that thing. Please stop it and find something to replace it with. So, number 3, document habits for things that works and fit. Number 1, Example, your health, your look, finance, social security, and fitness. Some of us, I keep saying it, not all colors that fit you. Take your time. Ask yourself, which colors did I always wear? If you can't ask yourself, ask your colleagues, what color did I always wear that if I wear this color, it looks very radiant, it looks good on me. You understand? And keep that pattern, keep that habit, because it will help you whenever you want to open any door. Your look, your appearance is number one thing. And then also ask yourself, what are the things that I always spend money on that does not worth it? Find a way to also cut down on such habits. Some of us might be data, that you always buy data, and you realize that in the office you have access to unlimited internet. Cut down your data so that you can have money saved for yourself. So, and then if you have to also develop in the area of mental fitness, in the area of health, you have to also be intentional about it. Do you know that some people will go to the gym and be carrying weights? Some people will just do treadmill. Take your time to know, am I working for cardio? Am I working for muscle? You understand? So take your time to understand what you actually want to achieve before you pick a routine. And you realize, we always say at Adbond, allocation is based on engagement, either at agric or at housing. But as long as you are in the social pool, you are protected. So number 4 says, understand the myth. I think I talked about this last week. The money, energy, attention, and time principle. And it says, money, energy, attention, time are currency that you cannot waste. I know that you don't know that energy might be money, attention might be money, but I know that you know that time is money. But what we are giving our attention to, and that was what made me say that if I'm in the midst of people and they are gisting, it look as if I'm no longer in this world. I'm just in my own world. And the funniest thing is that it's actually good for me, because it's helping me to move closer and be useful for more people to enjoy it, to have a good life. So, and I want us to look at this thing: create, evaluate, analyze, apply, understand, and remember. So use this theory, combining parts to make a new whole, judging the value of information or idea, breaking down information into component parts, applying the facts, rules, concept, and idea, understanding what the fact means, and recognizing and recalling the fact. The fact is whatever that have worked. If it's not working, don't bring it out yet. Still be doing your experiments within yourself. If you notice, if researchers want to create new drug, they won't create the drug and start using it on human being. Most of the time they use it on rabbits, and they check the response of those animals before they now bring it that they want to test this on human being. This is very, very crucial and very, very essential. All right, number 5, we're talking about social media and screen hour. And there's a simple report that says average daily screen time per app, per person too. So they say on Facebook you do 58 minutes per day, Snapchat 50, WhatsApp 28, Twitter 1 minute, Instagram 53, YouTube 40, Pinterest 14. So, and what I want to say is, at the beginning I said, Miss Kate's habits, no matter how good it is, for her, it might be dangerous. So now, if you realize that, maintain a proper platform that adds value to eliminate the one that don't. So if you realize that WhatsApp is what you use to reach out to your clients, please take your time there. Even you can use more than 58 minutes and spend 4 hours. As long as what you are doing will have a reward outcome. Don't forget the habit loop. Trigger, You understand? Routine, make it a routine, and then check your reward base. So once you check your reward base, then you can say this habit is good, this habit is bad. We have people that might just be surfing the email for nothing, and we have people that when they do their reels, do this, or do their just 1 minute YouTube short alone, they know how many dollars that is coming at the end of the month based on the per hour watch of other people. So this is very, very critical to get a sieve about this habit loop idea. So now bonus, meditation. Reward learning process based on choice of habits that stays or gets replaced over outdated and negative habits to positively reinforced good habits is something that once you feel it, which is the trigger, you think about it and you do it. You feel it, you think about it, you analyze, strategize that aspect that we said earlier, and then just go and do it. It's for you. Don't think what Mr. Oluwagbemiga wants to say. Don't think what Kate wants to say. Go get it done and let the result come first. When the result comes, you can now think of how you can reapproach it if it doesn't give you the result that you want. And if you reapproach, and you realize that it keeps giving you the same thing, then you can now find another one to replace with it. Then my recommendation is number 1, remember we are all guilty. So learn to forgive yourself to move forward quickly. When an habit is dealing with you, don't feel so horrible about yourself that you can't move forward. Then the next one say identify your current routine and document them to know what needs to be replaced. You know that we always have what we call the break hour at Admon every quarter. You hear Q2, Q3, Q4, Q5. So you press break, you match break, and evaluate all actions. And we know the one that we will remove. We know the one we want to double. We know the one we want to triple, 4 if 5 day. So then the next one say practice mindfulness on constant deleting and replacement of negative habits with positive new ones. One thing we all know, your conscience is there. And you know that this thing you are doing will not be good for others. Talk less of being good for you. Please don't sell it. Don't be people that sell drugs that has no drug inside. Like you just have the chalk and they collect the money for drug from you. You know, those kind of habits are so crazy that if you have to kill life for money, I don't think it's an habit one should inculcate. So, and he said it takes 21 days to form a habit, which I'm saying again, and another 21 to 90 days to replace it with another one by making it a lifestyle. Once you hit a habit that is good, make it a lifestyle. You know, I said something. Everything we are looking for must be in 7 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You are looking for habits to keep for Monday, habits to keep for Tuesday, habits to keep for, or routines. We are saying the same word that you want to keep for just 7 days, and that 7 days will become 1 year, will become 1 month, will become 1 decade, and you can always update and upgrade it with time. So move from knowledge is power, look at this part, to understanding is true light for vision, to wisdom applied a pathways to desired result. Move from knowledge is power to understanding is true light for vision, to wisdom applied. If you don't have wisdom, you don't apply it, it's waste. Wisdom applied a pathway to desired results. Now, this part say, hear good constantly. Don't be talking to everybody. You don't need every information. Hear good constantly and you see good constantly. Then you'll be able to do good. And when the moment you do good, that's when you can feel good. And when you feel good, repeat the cycle to trigger behavior and reward. And lastly, start with the end in mind. What you want to achieve at the end, you already know it in your mind. So, pathway that will help you to get there, that's what you now want to start implementing at the physical space. So we regard this as mental correlation to physical reality. Nothing comes to reality physically. You've thought about it first. Yes or no? So please, let's have a good thought. And a good thought can only come when you practice this constantly. It says, hear good, see good, do good, feel good, and repeat the cycle to trigger behavior and reward. So, my conclusion quote in a nutshell, note this order: your health, riches, wealth, happiness, fitness, success, and fulfillment depends on your habit of constant mindfulness. Because the aim of that mindfulness is for you to know when some things are already outdated. Do you know that something might be giving us money, and in 2 years' time, we need to kill it? You understand? Maybe it will not give, so we don't have to keep wasting energy, time. Let's innovate. Let's bring up something new. So, thank you. So if you have any question or contribution or something new that you have learned, please kindly put it at the comment section below. So our learning conclusion quote says that effective human functionality is found in an environment of continual learning with a supportive action drive for desired results. In a simple English, have an accountability partner for everything you want to do. Somebody who could question you, that will help you to keep growing in life. Thank you so much for staying to the end of the training. And don't forget, the exercise you did at the beginning, try to practice it time to time.